Know that you're ready, Mayor.
Special one I can't use. Yeah. Oh, thank you. All right. Good evening. We're live. We're going to start this evening with our local planning agency meeting. This is a meeting that's held prior to our zoning hearing this evening, and I'll let the village attorney talk a little bit about that in just a moment. That said, today is Monday, March 16th, 2026, and we're starting at exactly 7 p.m. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Present.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Present.
Council Member Steve Cody.
Here.
Council Member Marsha Matson.
Here.
Quorum is met.
Thank you. At this time, we will take a moment of silence in lieu of invocation. I'm not 100% sure whether Councilmember Fiore is going to be joining us this evening. He's traveling back from Texas, I believe, and he was still en route just a short time ago, so we could bow our heads in silence. If I could get everybody to please stand, and Vice Mayor, lead us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. So before we go into the actual meeting, wanted to make just one quick announcement. We've got some birthdays in the house. Happy birthday, Councilmember Cody.
Thank you.
Tomorrow is Councilmember Patrick Fiore's birthday. Fitting that he was called Patrick. And tomorrow is also the youngest, well, I don't know that she's the youngest member of our family anymore, but our village clerk's daughter, Eva, turns 6 tomorrow, and it's been an honor to have the opportunity to watch her grow up. So happy birthday to all. If Patrick doesn't get here on time, I got dibs on that cupcake over there. All right, and with that, can I turn it over to you to just, I see we have people in the audience, so I want to make sure that we're clear on what it is we're doing, the LPA versus the zoning hearing.
Sure. Just so everyone's aware, there is a statutory requirement for what's called a local planning agency in Florida, and that requires certain land use items to come before the LPA, for short, before it goes to the village council. In Palmetto Bay, the village council sits as its own LPA, which is it's entitled to do. So the beginning of this meeting will be the LPA agenda, and the council will be wearing their LPA hats. Once we are finished with the LPA meeting, we will move into the village council meeting, where they will then switch their hats into their village council hats to make the decisions at the council meetings.
And the village council meeting will actually be the zoning hearing, and it will be quasi-judicial.
That's correct, yes. And once we get there, I will read a statement about the quasi-judicial nature of that, so that everyone who intends to give testimony can be sworn in for the quasi-judicial hearings.
Perfect. So at this time, we'll take requests, petitions, and public comments. These are requests, petitions, and public comments about things that are not on tonight's agenda. So if you're here, and thank you all, I see we've got some new folks in the audience for joining us this evening. If you're here to speak to an item, if you would please wait, and we'll give you an opportunity, those in support of items and those in opposition coming up. So at this time, if there are requests, petitions, and public comments that have nothing to do with this particular agenda. Madam Clerk, I know you sent one comment by form, but it's not for this section, is it?
That is correct, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, and then I'll go ahead and close requests, petitions, and public comments, and we'll move into the public hearing items. Would somebody move item 3A?
Move it.
Is there a second? Second. Madam Clerk, can you please read item 3A?
Applicant George Casali, location 8917 Southwest 158th Street. Request a resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, sitting as the local planning agency, recommending an amendment to the official zoning map as referred to in section 30-10.5 to change the designation from agricultural to single-family residential, R1, for the property located at 8917 Southwest 158th Street, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. At this time, we'll take public comments related to item 3A. Okay. Seeing none, I'll ask for a staff report.
Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, Javier Gonzalez, Planning and Zoning Director. Our principal planner, Edgar Madero, has been the lead on this application, and he will present to you tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. My name is Edgar Madero. I'm the principal planner, and I'm going to be going over the rezoning for the LPA. Once again, it's the rezoning for George Casali, which is located at 8917 Southwest 158th Street. The current zoning is agricultural district. It is currently legally non-conforming as an undersized lot. The proposed zoning is single-family residential, R1, and the comprehensive plan, the future land use map, designates the area as low to medium density residential, which is consistent. The applicant is looking to build a single-family residential home, but the setback restrictions, among other things, of the agricultural lot on a parcel with such a small width creates an undue hardship on the applicant. The R1 single-family residential matches the characteristics of the neighborhood, and they relax the setback requirements to meet the standard. You'll notice that the setbacks for the agricultural is on the left. There's a 50-foot front setback with 20 side setbacks. The R1 switches these setbacks to meet 15 feet for the first 50% of the house width, and then 25 to meet the rest of it, with a side setback of 7.5 feet. So in prior platting, in 1946, the homes located at the north side of the parcel, which are indicated by the arrow, were platted with 66 feet of frontage. The applicant's parcel is just located directly south of these. So there's a recorded warranty deed dated June 5th, 2000 that confirms the property and the adjacent platted lots were historically held and transferred as a single legal entity. Lot 2 is legally described with 3 and 4 as recorded plats. They exist as a distinct legal description with property appraisers showing that it was formally assigned a folio in 2008 of October. This solidifies its status as a separate lot of record prior to the adoption of the village's current non-conforming lot regulations in 2009. There's currently an application to permit a minimum lot frontage of 66 feet where 75 is required for R1. The parcel is currently non-conforming with agricultural lot from before the village's incorporation. The applicant wants to bring the parcel into compliance and match the character of the neighborhood. So currently, it's not in the character of the neighborhood to be an agricultural district, and it places an undue hardship to develop due to the setback constraints. It does not conform with minimum lot width, area, or depth for agricultural, and the surrounding area is developed single-family residential with no agricultural use. The neighboring agricultural lot is developed with a single-family home on it. The future land use map has it as the proposed R1 zoning consistent with low to medium density residential in the comprehensive plan. Rezoning to R1 will bring the property into conformance with the village's zoning code for residential use, and the proposed R1 zoning is entirely compatible with the existing single-family residential character of the surrounding neighborhood. The staff confirms that all the required public notice procedures have been met. Staff has reviewed the application against the criteria for the official zoning map amendments as outlined in section 30.7 and the criterias include consistency with the comprehensive plan, conformance with Chapter 30 requirements, changes in land use conditions, compatibility with surrounding uses, impacts on public facilities and services, environmental impacts, effects on property values and general welfare, orderly and compatible land use pattern, and consistency with public interest and intent of Chapter 30. Staff supports the approval of this rezoning. Concurrency is met as the density remains at 1 dwelling unit regardless of the zoning change. Based on the consistency with the comprehensive plan, the compatibility with the surrounding residential area, the correction of a non-conforming zoning designation, and the lack of anticipated negative impacts, staff recommends approval of the ordinance rezoning the property from agricultural to R1.
Thank you. That was a great presentation, by the way, Edgar. Thank you. Questions for Edgar? No questions? Comments? Discussion? Vice Mayor? And then we'll just move on down.
Yeah, I'll just say thank you so much for doing this research, because to go back to 1946 to find the historical property records was truly impressive work, and I think you went above and beyond. So seriously, pat yourself on the back there. This is a really good presentation and also research that you did for the property, so thank you.
Councilmember Cody?
Thank you. I also would like to thank you for the presentation. I live just around the corner from this piece of property. In fact, on my nearly daily walks, I walk past it. Putting a single-family house there would be in keeping with what's in the neighborhood already. I don't think the owner is asking for anything extraordinary, so I'll be supporting this item. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman? No? Nora, thank you very much. Okay, if there's nothing else, then Madam Clerk, can you call the roll on the item? Thank you.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Yes?
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
Yes. Okay, the item passes 4-0. Could somebody move item 3B?
Move it. Second.
All right, Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
Applicant, Village of Palmetto Bay. Location, village-wide. Request, a resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, sitting as the local planning agency, recommending an amendment to Section 30-70.5 of the Village Land Development Code entitled Size and Character of Parking Spaces, subsection B, 2B, single-family detached residential, to increase driveway width on secondary frontages to align with garage door openings, establishing limits for driveway width, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Public comment on item 3B. Do we have any comments by form? Okay, then I'm going to close. If you have a public, you need to come up to the mic. Thank you. But I love it that you raised your hand. That was very nice.
Excuse me, this is my first time.
We get some wild meetings in here, so when I see someone raising their hand, that's very kind.
No, forgive me for my ignorance, this is my first time here. The issue about the lot that was just presented, is that just a motion to make a decision about it later, or are there public comments, like, do people get to make a
So the item that just passed, that would have been the time for public comments. This is on
Oh,
the
I
item.
didn't, I was waiting for someone to say.
A similar item will come back, and I'll leave it to the village attorney to explain. A similar item will come back during the zoning hearing, and since I understand you want to speak, I'll
Yeah, and there's some others here as well as.
I don't know what people are coming to speak to, so.
Oh,
that's why
I
when we-
just didn't hear it opened up to.
No worries. Can you
I just
explain
assumed
what's
it would
going
be
to
like
happen
that.
during the zoning hearing?
Yeah, so after we move from the LPA, where they take off their proverbial LPA hats, and we move into the village council meeting, that item will come back for the council to consider as the village council, so you'll have an opportunity to speak when that item's called. If anybody who would like to speak on that item, should line up, and then they
Is
will
that
call.
tonight?
It's tonight.
tonight.
It'll be.
In a few minutes.
In a few minutes.
Yeah.
And you'll just need to state your name and address for the record so that we've got it too.
I will do so, thank you.
Sorry about that. Maybe I wasn't clear enough, but you'll have another bite at the apple in just a few moments. I think the manager's going to come over and chat with you. Okay, I'm so sorry. Did we have any comments by form?
No comments by forum for item 3B.
Great. And who's presenting for item 3B? Just to the council, my timer has disappeared. I don't know if I clicked something, because I'm also have the meeting virtually, so just if you could, I'll look at Patrick's, but if you could mind your time. It's fine. I can see Patrick's. And then, are you keeping time now? Is that what's happening here? Okay. So just, if you could mind your time, that'd be great. Okay. So staff report.
Evening again, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. This item is sponsored by the Vice Mayor Mark Merwitzer. It's an amendment to our land development code. Currently, a corner lot, single-family home in Palmetto Bay is restricted to 12 feet wide driveway. So if you do have a garage, a double-car garage, it doesn't align with the width of the garage door opening. And this amendment will update the code to allow the secondary frontage driveway width to match the garage door, plus a maximum of 2 feet on each side, not to exceed the maximum width of 24 feet.
Very good. It's your item, so I'll let you speak to it.
Sure. So first of all, thank you. I want to start by thanking our Planning and Zoning Director, Javier Gonzalez, and his team for his work on this item, as well as Nick Morano and our village attorney for helping put the language together. This has been a collaborative effort from the start, so thank you once again. The item came to my attention through a constituent's permitting experience. A corner lot homeowner with a side-loading garage went through multiple cycles of denial because our code caps secondary frontage to driveways at 12 feet, but the garage door it serves was 16 feet wide. Staff applied the code correctly. The problem was just the code itself here. So I went back and forth with the staff, and the result is, after that discussion, what you have in front of you tonight, and the amendment is a straightforward fix to allow secondary frontage driveways to match the width of the garage door plus 2 feet on each side for maneuvering, with a hard cap of 24 feet, which is pretty much what already applies for primary frontage. So everything else remains the same with this change. I do have just one amendment that I already flagged with Javier before the meeting, and correct me if I'm wrong, all is good with it. It's just a very technical change. I wanted to add language on page 3 after line 10 to state that the width is measured at the property line, and that's the only change. It just clears up some ambiguity in the code, that's all. So with that, I move the amendments, and I also ask for your adoption. Thank you.
Second, the amendment.
Okay, are we voting on the amendment now? Was that your motion? I don't know if we needed to, but I'll call the roll. Is there discussion on the amendment? Call the roll on the amendment.
Vice Mayor Mark Merwitzer.
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody.
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matten.
Yes. Okay, questions? Does anyone have questions? I just have a quick question for you. Was there, I know you mentioned a specific property owner. Where is the property that's having the problem?
It's on 74th Ave and 145th Terrace, around there.
Okay, and what's the name of the property owner?
Andrew Sorot?
Okay. And just another question maybe for Javier. Have we had other similar issues in addition to this particular homeowner?
Yes, I'm getting a nod from staff. This is not the only one that has some issues with the permitting process, so it does happen more than often. Again, if you have a corner lot and your garage is on the secondary frontage and there's a double car garage, you're gonna have an issue once you come to us for permit.
Thank you. Is there discussion? No? You want to close?
Yeah, and I'll just respond to one more thing that you said there. I think it's a good point. This is not just for one property owner. Many other people have larger garages on the side, and this takes care of all of them at once to ensure a fairer process. So this was just brought to my attention by this person, but as staff confirmed, it was a systemic issue. So with that, I'd ask for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? All right, Madam Clerk, call the roll on the item, please.
Councilmember Marsha Matten.
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mark Merwitzer.
Yes.
All right, the item passes 4-0. Yes.
So I'm wondering, for the two items that we just heard, is there a way, pretty much just for my item, because I believe some people in the audience want to talk to the other item, but for my item, is there a way I can just roll over my comments and the discussion to the zoning hearing so we don't have to go through the whole process and we just vote on it again?
I think we still have to read I mean, we can ask the attorney, but we still have to call the item, read the item, and if there's no discussion at that point, we can just take a vote on it.
Yeah, and you can just adopt everything you said during the LPA as your statements in the zoning hearing, sorry.
God, I'll do it then. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So just for the folks that are seated in the audience, we need 2 minutes. They'll queue up the next video. So sit tight for just a couple minutes, and we will start the next meeting. Hi. Welcome to our zoning hearing. This is Monday, March 16th, 2026, and we're starting at 7:22, immediately following the LPA meeting. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Present.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Present.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Here?
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
Here.
Quorum is met.
I'm just going to repeat for the record that Councilmember Fiore is returning from a visit with his family, and his flight was delayed, so he may come late or he may not make it. At this time, if I could get somebody to, well, we'll take requests, petitions, and public comments. This is requests and petitions and public comments for things not on tonight's agenda, just something you might like to share with us. Great, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close requests, petitions, and public comments. And if I could get somebody to move the minutes from the zoning hearing of December 8th, 2025.
Move.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, minutes pass. This time we'll take the major projects update. And I'm guessing, and here comes Javier.
Hey, good evening again. Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, Javier Gonzalez, Planning and Zoning Director, here to provide the monthly department update for March. So as far as rezoning applications on the review, well, technically the review has been completed and has been scheduled for the April 20th zoning hearing. The applicant is Fernando Chimula. The address is 17391 Southwest 92nd Court, and the property size is approximately 1.91 acres. The rezoning request is to go, if you could please go back, to go from agricultural to a state modified single-family zoning district that really aligns with the properties east of the street. The state modified single-family zoning district allows lots of 15,000 square feet. This is a rezoning application pretty much before you today. You just voted on earlier in the LPA. There is a companion application for lot width variance that you will be hearing later on in the meeting. Our site plans applications on the review, Iona Electric Vehicle Charging Station at 9823 East Hibiscus Street, right across the street from Village Hall. They're proposing a total of 12 electric vehicle charging stations, and it's undergoing a third review. As far as, again, site plans, applications on the review, Bravo Estates. This is generally located north of 152nd Street and 71st Avenue. 5 single-family homes, about an acre each, and a zone E1, 1 acre estate single family. And we're pending the applicant's submittal for a second review. Other applications on the review, Classic Metals at 17911 South Dixie Highway, doing some exterior and interior renovations. We submitted our comments on November 4th of 2025. We're pending submittal. The delay has been because the applicant has reached Miami-Dade County DERM and Water and Sewer, and he has encountered some permitting issues that he's trying to resolve before he decides how to move forward with the application. On the right, there's a rendering of a single-family home that will be built for Navarrete Estates, and that is generally located at the southwest corner of the Southwest 168th Street and 90th Avenue intersection. Those are a total of 7 single-family homes sold for EM. And we reviewed the third submittal. We received it on March 12th. Vistas at Palmetto Bay is another application that you have been hearing for a long time. The applicant just resubmitted on March 2nd, 2026, and they're adding 11 residential units. They did have a plan to do 10 units with 2 live-work units, but apparently that didn't work out for the applicant, so he revised it, and he's decreasing the density to a total of 11. The new application we received, Take 5 oil change at 9050 Southwest 152nd Street. The site plan is a photo on the top, and the elevation is on the right-hand corner. The operations is a oil change service for cars, and we're currently under the first review. Approved site plan applications, floor and decor, 16051 South Dixie Highway. It takes over 53,237 square feet of previously vacant space, which was occupied by Ale Fitness. And it is a home improvement store, and the approval was issued on February 19th, 2026. Moving on to plat applications that have been completed. Bravo Estates final plat. This was reviewed administratively under the recent ordinance that the Village Council passed, and we issued the approval on February 24, 2026. Other plat applications under review, Chamizo plat. This is the plat for the Take 5 oil change site. They're dedicating right-of-way on 152, and the property has never been platted, so they have to go through this process. On the bottom is Rockwell Estates. Those are 3 single-family homes at 170-10 Southwest 77th Avenue, zone estate modified single-family, and we're pending the review of that application. For the April 20th zoning hearing, again, we'll have the first reading of the rezoning from AG to EM, the second reading of the George Casali rezoning from AG to R1, and then the second reading of the driveway text amendments to the Land Development Code. Approved projects pending building permit submittal. So 9400 Richmond Drive is currently pending the contractor's revision to the estimate. However, since the time that the site plan approval was issued has lapsed, the applicant is required to resubmit the site plan for an updated review. Projects under construction, the Pinecrest Bakery, everything almost has been completed. They're working on some exterior awnings that he's installing there, but he has reached an obstacle with Miami-Dade County Water and Sewer. So we did reach out to the property owner, let me correct myself, the restaurant owner, and he does not have an anticipated opening date because he doesn't know when this issue is going to be resolved with water and sewer. Projects under construction, right across the street from us, Shores of Palmetto Bay LLC, 3 mixed-use, 3 multifamily residential buildings. The construction is well underway. And that concludes my presentation. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions? Vice Mayor?
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. The only question that I have is there a way to take a look and study the current agriculturally zoned parcels throughout the village and see which ones would be most ripe for a alignment with our comprehensive plan, and essentially bring that back to council as one item so that we don't have to essentially do the applications piecemeal? And also, I just feel like it's a fairer process for the property owners of these agricultural lots, if your office is willing to study that.
Just one comment on that. Because of a bill that was passed last session in 2025 called SB 180, I think unless it's an applicant coming forward with it, we would be prohibited from changing the zoning on that or changing the comp plan designation based on the provisions of that until, I think it goes until end of June 2028, I think is when the prohibition's in. I'll have to look at the exact date, but there's some hurdles. Normally, but for that provision, that's absolutely something we could do. But now with that restriction, it really limits us.
Thank you.
I mean, certainly we could, if you wanted, the staff could analyze it and reach out to the applicants, and then the applicants, if they wanted to apply, could apply. But short of that, we would be hamstrung.
Got it. Thank you.
Councilmember Cody?
Thank you. I just wanted to tell you, one, your presentation was very good. Whatever font you're using, it's very readable. So keep using it. Please remind me, and this is coming from somebody with vision issues, remind me what the size of an EM property is.
State modified is 15,000 square foot for the lot, minimum.
So that's 15,000, and an acre is about 43,000 square feet? So it's about a third of an acre, roughly?
Yep.
Okay. And then, is there anything that we can do to help the restaurant in the island on 168th? They said they're having problems with water and sewer. Is there anything that the village can do to help?
We can reach out to the property owner, understand the full details, and then reach out to Miami-Dade County Water and Sewer Department. It is, affecting Palmetto Bay because of the time that has taken, so that's something we could do.
Okay. I would ask the manager if we can see if we can apply a little bit of municipal pressure. So, thank you.
Great, that was going to be my question as well, so thank you for that. Questions? More questions? Yes, go ahead.
The Pinecrest Bakery property have to do with gas tanks, environmental considerations that were there because that used to be a gas station?
Whatever environmental concerns, that has been cleared up. Once Durham, Miami-Dade County issues a paving, grading, and drainage permit, they're giving you the green light to operate, and then whatever remediation you have to do, it's in place and they will enforce it.
I have another question about Vistas. How does Vistas plan to add 11 new units to their property?
In addition, they're going to match the building envelope, the building massing of the existing building. They do have some parking spaces. We're still under review of that application, but they'll essentially, not 100%, but they're going to tie in through legal documents, unity of title, that property and the existing apartment, and treat it as one development for applying the regulations of zoning, setbacks, building coverage, et cetera.
Another follow-up, does this have to do with the property that they bought next door? Is that where they're going to build a new annex, I guess you could call it?
It's to the west of the existing apartment building, immediately to the west, that's the property.
So it will then be combined into the building and there will be no awkward-looking building that's separate?
If we could go back to there's a rendering of the actual addition. They're matching architecture and they're doing it pleasantly. That's the bottom picture, the building to the right, that's the addition.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, comments? This will be the time, Edgar, for timing. 0. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Get you all psyched up to time, and then, nope, no comments. Okay, we're going to go into ordinances for first reading and public hearing. Would somebody move item 5A, please?
Move it.
Is it?
Second.
Madam Clerk, please read item 5A. Sorry.
Applicant, Village of Palmetto Bay, location village-wide. Request, an ordinance of the mayor and village council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, relating to zoning, amending section 30-70.5 of the Village Land Development Code entitled Size and Character of Parking Spaces, subsection B2B, single-family detached residential, to increase driveway width on secondary frontages to align with garage door openings, establishing limits for driveway width, providing for severability, conflicts, and an effective date. This ordinance is sponsored by Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer and is being heard on first reading.
Is there public comment? Comment by form? No comment. Vice Mayor?
I move to incorporate the comments from the LPA into this meeting.
Second.
Else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that passes 4-0. We're going to go ahead and vote on the item then. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll on the item?
Mayor Karen Cunningham?
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matson?
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer?
Yes.
Item passes 4-0. Item 5B, would somebody move that item?
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
Applicant George Casali, location 8917 Southwest 158th Street, request. An ordinance of the mayor and village council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, relating to zoning, amending the zoning map referred to in section 30-10.5 to change from agricultural to single-family residential, R1, for the property located at 8917 Southwest 158th Street, Palmetto Bay, Florida, and providing for an effective date.
Very good. With that, I'm going to turn it over to the village attorney.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We are into the public hearing or quasi-judicial portion of the agenda here. Quasi-judicial items are matters in which the village is required by law to give notice and an opportunity to be heard to parties and adversely affected persons to investigate facts and to make findings and fact and conclusions of law. If you wish to comment on this item, you'll need to be sworn in by the clerk. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. These proceedings will be handled in accordance with the village code requirements. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. As a reminder, comments submitted via online form should not be considered sworn testimony or otherwise be considered competent substantial evidence for the purpose of support for a quasi-judicial item. The full agenda packet on each item is hereby entered into the record along with the village code and comprehensive plan. Any correspondence that was received by village staff is included in the file and part of the record. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures are set forth in section 2-107 of the village code and may be obtained by the village clerk. Council, before we begin each item, in accordance with section 2-106 of the village code, the clerk will ask each of you to please disclose any ex parte communications that you may have had, and we will need to swear in the witnesses as well, or anyone giving testimony. Sorry.
Does the council have any disclosures for this item?
I have no disclosures to make.
I spoke briefly to Mr. Casali just about the process for this evening.
I also spoke with Mr. Casali on March 11th for 2 minutes and 41 seconds.
Nothing to disclose.
Thank you. All right, now is the time. We're on item 5A, and Madam Clerk, this is not the one that has the public comment? Is it 6?
Correct.
Okay. You'll come up, and if I could do it this way, it would be a little bit helpful. Let me take anyone in opposition to the item first, and then we'll move into folks that support the item and move on from there. Yes. And Madam Clerk will swear all the speakers in. So if you're going to speak at some point, please stand and raise your right hand.
Before testifying, each witness shall declare that he or she will testify truthfully by taking an oath in the following form. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Thank you.
Okay, and if you are in the audience and you change your mind at some point, just remind me that you weren't sworn in, and we'll get you sworn in. Your name and address, please.
Name is Alan Piggott. My address is 8925 Southwest 158th Street, the adjacent property that was shown during the presentation in discussion. I am here to respectfully ask that the board carefully apply the variance criteria in this case. I think it was a very good presentation. I agree with you, but I think it was a limited view of kind of our experience and my neighbors, but I'm not here to speak on behalf of anybody else. First, the zoning for this area has been discussed, requires 75 feet of frontage. This parcel has 66 feet, which is a clear departure from the standard. Most of the homes on this street have frontages anywhere between 100 and 120 feet. So it's a different neighborhood character to have such a narrow lot. As you saw in the presentation, it looks like a very narrow landing strip. So approving this may change the established pattern of the block. Second, the narrow lots referenced in the presentation from 1946, they were created under a much older subdivision pattern dating back many decades. Those are legally non-conforming lots and should not necessarily be used as a precedent to create new non-conformities within this neighborhood. If you've walked that block, you know, that street is very different in character. It's a very consolidated area within our greater Pine Rockland area, or Rockland, whatever it's called. And they're right on top of each other, and they're all small lots. So it actually, that street, you feel like you're completely in a different neighborhood than one block over. And I also think that this sets a precedent that others can knowingly buy non-compliant lots, and this could encourage a speculation. In 2016, this lot was listed for sale as an unbuildable lot. So this, to me, was a self-created hardship, not such as a later discovery where it was like, oops, what happened? So, third, my understanding is that this parcel can already be developed under its current agricultural zoning, although different setbacks and limitations do occur. In other words, the frontage requirement is not preventing development entirely, it is only preventing the construction of a particular type of home the applicant would prefer to build. Variance standards generally require that a property cannot be reasonably used without relief, and in this case, it appears the parcel does have reasonable use under the existing zoning. So for these reasons, I'm just here to state that it's just carefully considered, especially whenever I believe that a variance is brought forth. The nature, to me, as I understand it, is that it should be looked at carefully about what is that use actually going to be used for, what will be there, how is it going to be used. So with that, I just thank you for your time, and I'll end with that.
Thank you. Next speaker, thank you, sir. Next speaker. Good evening. If you could give us your name and address.
Yes, my name is Gabriela Galvan de Antion, and my address is 15750 Southwest 89th Avenue, Palmetto Bay, Florida 33157. And my property is also adjacent to the property that my other neighbor just spoke of. We are to the east. We have enjoyed our property for over 10 years, and when we bought our property, we were also under the understanding that the lot next door, though it was agricultural, would not be able to be buildable beyond that the current states that it has, meaning it could not be made wider. And so as I'm understanding, opening up that frontage to a wider build not only would change the character of our block, but also for me personally, it would put concern for privacy. I also find it concerning that the village zoning would reach out to me to try and convince me, other than, yes, they can completely build, they want to do this, where just me stating repeatedly, this is not the first time I've been against this. I have not wanted that variance to change to have a wider property on there for all of those constraints. So I really would highly appreciate for the council to review those current parameters so that they would not be changed. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Alvar Antijon. I live in 15750 Southwest 89th Avenue, Palmetto.
Do you mind speaking up just a little so the clerk can?
My name is Alvar Antijon. I live in 15750 Palmetto Bay, 89th Avenue. I'm Gaby's husband. I'm cohabitating in the house adjacent to George's property. I agree with Alan. This is a self-inflicted hardship because the lot was non-buildable. That's another question that there has been several instances and that this has been attempted in the past, but the city has never reached to us. In this case, the city reached to us to see our position. And at some point in time, we were told, well, you know, he can build there anyways. And that called my attention. And my question is, if he can build there anyways, why was the city reaching to us in that respect? And I agree with my wife, if he can build there, why are we here? Why do we need to change it? Yeah, I respectfully express my opposition to it for those reasons. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, we'll take anybody speaking in support of the item.
George Casali, I'm the owner of the property. I live at 157.
Mr. Casali, I'm just going to have you speak a little louder, mainly for me, my bad ears, but the clerk is also trying to take the minutes.
My name is George Casali. I live at 15700 Southwest 90th Avenue. I've been a resident here at Palmetto Bay for over 30 years. And one of the reasons why I'm asking for is, one, is agricultural is a minimum of 5 acres, and this is not even half an acre. So it's basically not even owned right. If I build as an agricultural, I have a 20-foot setback on each side. It would leave me a very narrow home to build. That's why I'm asking for an RU1 or an R1 in order to build a nice, the lot is almost 16,000 square feet, so it's not small. And I'm just asking permission to build one single-family home on this property. And that's what I'm asking for. And that's about it. I mean, building in Palmetto Bay for about 25 years, and everywhere I've built, I've always raised everybody's value in their property. I live maybe 5 lots away from that property, and my lot's even thinner. It's 66 feet, and my house is over 4,000 square feet. So I mean, this one's the same size, a little deeper, and I'm just asking for an R1 in order to build one single resident on there to be compatible with the neighborhood. It's not going to be anything ridiculous.
A little bit, you have to speak directly in the mic so that we can hear.
Sorry, it's
all right.
nothing. I'm going to build something that's going to be compatible with everybody. They were worried about 2-story homes. I don't build 2-story homes. I build 1-story homes, and everything else is there is 1-story. So I've known all the neighbors for many, many years, and well, that's about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, I guess we'll take the staff report.
Council and Madam Mayor, if you'd like, I could go over the presentation one more time. It's the same one that was previously given for the LPA, but given that there are some concerns, if you'd like for me to go over it again one more time?
I
don't
would,
mind.
yes, if you don't mind. Thank you.
So, the current lot is non-conforming agricultural. It's undersized. The proposed zoning is single-family residential R1, which is our smallest one. The comprehensive plan future land use map designates the area for low to medium density residential, which is consistent with the area. The applicant is looking to build a single-family residential home. The setback restrictions, among other things, are the concern for the agricultural lot. With such a small width, it creates an undue hardship on the applicant. If you'll take a look, you can see on the left, that's the agricultural setbacks, and on the right would be the R1 setbacks. Just for the little bit of history that we had spoken about before, the reason the lot was left over at 66 feet was from platting that had happened prior. This is the plat just north of it in 1946, but the southern portion, which is where I'm pointing, is the one just north of it. The southern portion was left as agricultural. As time developed, the homes around it were platted, but this one did not get platted. As well as there being a recorded warranty deed in 2000 that confirms that the property and the adjacent platted lots were historically held and transferred as a single legal entity. Lot 2 was legally described, with Lot 3 and 4 being recorded plats. They exist as a distinct legal description. Property appraiser shows it formally having a folio applied in 2008. This solidifies it as a status as a separate lot of record prior to the adoption of the village's current non-conforming lot regulations in 2009. There's a variance request, which is coming up after this one, but it's the request to switch to permit a minimum lot frontage of 66, where the minimum requirement would be 75 feet. The parcel is currently non-conforming as an agricultural, and the applicant wants to bring the parcel into compliance to match the character of the neighborhood. Currently, it is not in character for the neighborhood as an agricultural, and it provides an undue hardship to develop due to the constraints of the setbacks. As an agricultural, it does not conform with the minimum lot width, the area, or the depth requirements for agricultural. The surrounding area is developed with single-family residentials and no agricultural use. The neighboring agricultural lot is developed with a single-family residential home. The proposed R1 zoning is consistent with the low to medium density residential designation in the comp plan, and the rezoning to R1 will bring the property into conformance with the village's zoning code for residential use. The proposed R1 zoning is entirely compatible with the existing single-family residential character of the surrounding neighborhood. Staff confirms that we've given the public notice requirements, and staff has reviewed the application against the criteria for official zoning map amendments as outlined in the section 3030.7. Including consistency with the comp plan, conformance with Chapter 30 requirements, changes in land use conditions, compatibility with surrounding uses, the impacts on public facilities and services, environmental impacts, effects on property values and general welfare, orderly and compatible land use pattern, and consistency with public interest and intent of Chapter 30. Staff supports the approval of the rezoning. The concurrency is met as the density remains at one dwelling unit regardless of the zoning change. And based on the consistency with the comprehensive plan, the compatibility with the surrounding residential area, and the correction of a non-conforming zoning designation, the lack of anticipated negative impacts, and staff recommends approval of the ordinance rezoning the property from agricultural to R1.
Excuse me, does anyone have questions? Councilmember Cody?
Thank you. Can you go back to the introduction slide? Got a question about the illustration that you've got. Above the subject parcel is a parcel on the street above. It appears as if the width of that parcel matches the width of the subject parcel. Is that correct?
Correct. It's actually the one that's located in the plat just north of it, the one that I've indicated.
Right. And so that one has a frontage of 66 feet.
Correct.
And so that would be non-conforming, but it is in the same neighborhood and it is the adjacent property.
Correct, because it was platted in 1946.
Okay. Thank you.
And just for clarity, and please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, this is just approving what we approved previously. This is about changing from agricultural.
I believe this would be approving to rezone this. Well, there would be second reading, but yes, it would be approval to rezone.
I'm talking about the variances in this item.
Not in this item,
Right,
correct?
okay. I just wanted to clarify. I did hear what everyone said, but I also want to clarify, this is very similar to the item that we heard during the LPA. Vice Mayor?
Yes, thank you. So I'm hoping you can clarify something for me. So what can be built there right now within the code, and what can be built after this change?
So it would still be allowing a two-story home. It's allowed in agricultural. The only difference with the rezoning would be the changes on the setback, and I believe also the amount of impervious space that's required, but it would be consistent with what's allowed in R1.
Got it. So they could build a house there right now, but they just can't do it because of the setbacks and everything else that we've discussed today, because of the whole process they've been through.
Correct. They could still build a home. It would just have to comply with the regulations of our agricultural.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman?
Yes, I'd like to ask the manager a question. All right, several of the residents said that they were approached by our planning and zoning staff about this property. Now, I've never heard that before. When any neighbors have come up, it's typically letters. They write letters. They write comments approving or not approving. So can you explain that? Is that the case, or is there a new policy, or what is the situation?
So they were, and I'll take the question. They were approached specifically for the variance. You haven't heard it yet because it's the following item, but the variance has the requirement of signatures. Because the applicant didn't secure 2 signatures, which were I believe the neighbors that spoke, I reached out to understand what their position was, so when I did my staff report on the variance, I could understand their point of view. I don't make recommendations, it's just to understand what their concerns are so that I can take that into account once doing the staff report.
All right, comments? Okay, okay, Vice Mayor? We're doing comments now. Director?
I mean, I'll just say thank you to everyone who came out with this. I totally understand your concerns. I completely understand the process as well. The thing is, regardless of this change, it just seems like we're just adjusting the setbacks that are allowed. We're not prohibiting or allowing a home to go there. One's eventually going to go there. It's just the ultimate question of how much space they're going to have to leave between the properties. And to me, I'd rather grant this only because if we were to deny it, from my own understanding of what was presented before us today, there's just not enough substantive or competent evidence before us today to deny this application. So I'd rather take the legally safer route. We're not adding new density to the neighborhood, and that's my reasoning behind this. So I just want to put that on record. Thank you.
Anyone else? Go ahead.
I'd like to make a comment that I just want to correct my disclosure, and that is that I did speak to Mr. Casali before the meeting to greet him and also just to discuss the agricultural process.
Okay, any other comments? Great. Madam Clerk, let's call the roll on the item.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matson,
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Yes, the item passes 4-0. All right, now we're going to move into resolutions requiring public hearing. You have another opportunity to speak. This is more specific to some of the comments I think that you were making previously. So could somebody move item 6A forward?
Move it.
Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the item?
Applicant George Casali, location 8917 Southwest 158th Street. Request a resolution of the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, relating to zoning pursuant to Section 30-30.6 variances and Section 30-50.3 R1 zoning district, authorizing lot width variance request at 8917 Southwest 158th Street to permit a lot width of 66 feet where 75 feet is required for a parcel proposed to be zoned single-family residential R1, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, everybody that was sworn in previously, if they come up, they're good to go?
Yeah, they were previously sworn, they're okay.
Thank you. You don't need to do disclosures again?
To the extent, I guess we should see if anybody has anything different. I don't think so. It's the same applicant, but just in case.
I'm the same as before. I spoke to him briefly to talk about the process.
Same as before.
Same as my update.
Very good. All right, at this time, we'll take public comments that are in opposition to the item. So we're going to do opposition first, and then we'll do support, and we'll hear from the staff again, and maybe even hear the whole report again. You're getting really good at it, Edgar. Yes, sir. Your name and address one more time,
No
please.
problem. Alan Piggott, 8925 Southwest 158th Street, Palmetto Bay. Yeah, we don't have to redo everything, but I think the case is that I believe that it will change the neighborhood character and that it sets a precedent. And also just to a question is of the signatures that typically the board would like to see that would show neighbors in favor of this, how many were collected from 158th Street versus how many were collected from 157th Street? Does anybody have that data? Or somewhere? I would just wonder because we know the neighbors in our area and we were all kind of approached with the letter and it was made to feel like we were the only ones that hadn't signed it yet, that they were only missing a few, and they also didn't sign any letter either. The other issue is, yes, the phone call. I also received a phone call. It was probably like a 20-minute phone call, maybe 15 to 20-minute phone call, trying to explain the case from the zoning perspective. It felt less like a fact-finding mission and a little bit more like a, what if we could do this? Would that change your opinion? What if it was like this? What if it actually looks like this? How would that change your position? So I just wanted to put that on record that I also received a phone call like them that felt, not that our view was heard. I'm not trying to say it was, but it definitely was like a counterpoint. So that wasn't what I expected from the phone call. So with that, I'll pass. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please, your name and address.
This is Gabriela Galvan de Antion. My address is 15750 Southwest 89th Avenue, Palmetto Bay, 33157. And as my comments before, I really do request that the council does not change the variance so that a wider build could be on this property. It is a quite narrow property. My concern would not only be for the change of character on our street, but privacy as well. And as we all know, water is always an issue during, rains and such. And to also piggyback on my neighbor of the type of phone call and email I received was definitely a departure from past requests for changing the variance, because I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, this would be like the third time that we have received some type of, a card in the past, but this would be the first time that a member of a staff actually reached out via email or by phone call. It was more for what I do to align your view to get your signature rather than, even though, yes, my comments were heard, but it wasn't that feel. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Alvar Antillon, 15750 89th Avenue, Palmetto Bay, Florida. It's the same points that I expressed before. If the applicant can build, why are we here? The lot is very narrow. The properties will be too close. Moreover, if it's a two-story house. So I would like the council to seriously please consider this. And once again, it was a self-inflicted wound because the lot has been non-buildable. So that was a well-known fact before the property was acquired. And once again, it called my attention that the call that we received in that respect. And now that I find out that conversations were held with the council, it calls my attention. I wonder if I'm just wasting my time here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing. And with that, did we have, was there one item?
No public comment by
Oh,
form
so
for
sorry.
this item.
Which one has the public comment by forms? Wait, there's only one more item, I think,
6
so.
feet. It's
Okay,
6 feet.
thank you, thanks, sorry about that. Okay, now we'll take folks that are here in support. Okay, and no one? All right, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing, and with that, we'll turn it over for the staff report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and council members. So this will be the presentation for the variance itself. Go to the next one. We've gone over the address, but 8917 Southwest 158th Street. The applicant is seeking a variance to the minimum lot frontage for a rezoning from agricultural to R1 from 75 feet to 66 feet. The current zoning of the property sets the restriction that is not in character with the rest of the neighborhood, and it sets an undue hardship on the applicant to construct a home in the residential neighborhood. Staff confirms that all the required public notice procedures have been met. And the background of the request, the applicant is seeking that minimum lot frontage of 66 feet, where the 75 is required for an R1. The parcel is currently non-conforming under agricultural lot from before the village's incorporation. The applicant would like to bring the parcel into compliance and match the character of the neighborhood. It is not in the character of the neighborhood as an agricultural lot, and it is an undue hardship to develop due to the setback constraints. It does not conform with the minimum lot width, area, or depth for agricultural, and it would be in character as an R1 single-family residential and consistent with the development patterns. Under agricultural rules, this owner could only build a house 26 feet wide. By granting this variance and moving to R1, we allow a home that actually fits within the character of the neighborhood. We're required to evaluate the request based on the following criteria: the written support from adjoining property owners, the compatibility with the development patterns, preservation of neighborhood character, that there's no substantial detriment to adjoining properties, substantial justice to the property owner and others, that the plight is due to unique circumstances and an unnecessary burden, that the special conditions beyond the applicant's control and concurrence of contiguous property owners unless a hardship exists. Staff has conducted a thorough evaluation of the variance request based on the 8 criteria that are outlined in section 3030.6E of the Village Code. Our detailed analysis of each criterion is within the staff report. The variance request meets 7 of the 8 evaluation criteria that 2 of the adjacent neighbors have not signed for approval of the variance, although a hardship exception applies. Staff recommends approval of the variance request with the following condition. Prior to the issuance of a building permit, the applicant shall submit to the village for review and approval a declaration of restrictive covenants to be recorded in the public records of Miami-Dade County at the applicant's expense. This covenant shall prohibit any further subdivision of the subject parcel, restructure the development rights of the property to a maximum of 1 single-family residence, and to bind all subsequent owners, heirs, and assigns to these restrictions in perpetuity. If there's any questions.
Thank you. Questions? Councilmember Cody?
Know if Mr. Casali, has agreed to those, I'm seeing a shaking of a head, so he has agreed to those staff recommendations.
Right, we speak to them before we try to apply any conditions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman?
Yes, I wonder if if the mayor will give permission to the attorney to give an explanation to residents about the neighbors' public comments and whether they are substantial and competent evidence.
Yes, of course. Go ahead when you're ready.
Yeah, just a reminder to council that when we're sitting in a quasi-judicial capacity, whatever decision you support, whatever decision you look to support has to be supported by what's called competent substantial evidence. That's a standard set forth under Florida law. Competent substantial evidence is evidence that must be fact-based and has to be derived pursuant to like personal observation or some form of expert analysis or opinion you might have. It cannot merely be based upon opinion or general statements of support or opposition, and the decision can't be based on speculation or popularity. It really needs to be grounded in fact and competent substantial evidence to support it.
Thank you. I have a quick question for you. Would it be possible to add as one of the conditions, because I did hear concerns of privacy, by expanding that frontage setback. Would it be possible to add to that landscaping, some kind of landscaping regulations? And if it's already there, my apologies. I missed it.
We could add that onto there. We do like to ask the applicant before placing conditions, but yes.
Well, I would say that would be one of my recommendations. I don't, do we need a motion or?
Yeah, though I would say,
Right.
maybe we take a break and see if that's something that the applicant would stipulate to, and then we could.
And I don't
we
know
could-
exactly what that would look like, but I would leave it to your judgment just as it relates to whatever landscaping would give the most privacy to the neighboring residents.
Madam Mayor, I would move that we lay this on the table for now so that they can confer and we can then take up the next item.
Is that the appropriate motion?
That would be fine, and unless the applicant just is willing to stipulate now. But if he wants to speak with the planner, with Edgar, it would be appropriate to pause and.
Okay, there's a motion. I'll go ahead and second it. Do we vote on it?
Yeah.
Or to lay it on the table?
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. There is an amendment.
To make an amendment that it's a 5-minute recess.
We'll
For
lay it
the laying on the table,
for
yeah.
5 minutes, okay. That's all right with me? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, we're laying it on the table.
5 minutes.
Edgar, you've got the best poker face ever. Okay, we're back. And it's okay. Do you want to wait a second? Okay. No, all right, go ahead.
After speaking with the applicant, he is more than willing to place a 7-foot hedge along the eastern side, which I believe is the concern, the closest property along the eastern edge, and maintain that. We can add that as a condition later on into the ordinance.
Okay. When you say added as a condition later on, we're adding it as we would add it, we'd make a motion, I assume,
Correct.
and add it this evening.
I move.
Okay, there's a motion to add as a condition a 7-foot
7-foot
hedge on
landscape
the
buffer, yes.
eastern border. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there discussion or questions on that? Yes, Mr. Attorney.
I would just say we might want to confirm with the applicant that he is
Come up to the
amenable to
mic
that stipulation.
for a moment and just confirm, so we have it on the record.
My name again, or George Casali, and I confirm with that on the east side, that's fine. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. So now we're back. Are there any more questions for Edgar? No? Yes? Go ahead.
To our attorney, do I have to disclose that I spoke with people who spoke in opposition to the applicant, or do I just have to speak do I have to disclose only if I spoke to George Caselli?
If you spoke with anybody about this, including in opposition, yes, I would disclose that, yes.
I just spoke to some of the neighbors in the audience. The nature of the discussion was essentially the process that was involved, that's all.
Did you know their names, or they were the ones who spoke?
They're the ones who spoke, the three in the back there.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you. And my apologies for not coming back, but I can't come back when another council member is back there, so I let the manager go back on my behalf. All right. No more questions for Edgar. Are there comments? No comments. So we're going to vote on the item as it's been amended with the new condition. Is that correct? Okay. Madam Clerk, I guess call the roll.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer,
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsha Matson.
Yes.
Okay, the item passes 4-0. Hopefully, neighbors will still be great neighbors, and maybe you all can get together in the lobby and, have a group hug. Listen, it's very difficult when you see neighbors that you know come up to speak in opposition and neighbors that you know that are here. But as the attorney pointed out, we have to do it based on a quasi-judicial process. So hopefully all will be well. All right, that item passes 4-0. So if I could get someone to move item 6B, the one with the comment by form. Is there a second? It's been seconded. It was seconded by Councilwoman Matson. Madam Clerk, can you read the item?
Applicant, Richard Mixon Revocable Trust. Location 15560 Southwest 67th Court. Request a resolution of the Village Council of the Village of Palmetto Bay, Florida, vacating a certain public right-of-way located at 15560 Southwest 67th Court, providing that said right-of-way shall revert to the adjacent property owner, the Richard Mixon Revocable Trust, and providing for an effective date.
Mr. Attorney?
I was just going to mention, this is a quasi-judicial item as well. We do not, you all can hear, obviously, the comment that's submitted by form, but it should not be considered competent substantial evidence. There's no way of knowing if they were sworn in. Obviously, they weren't, if they weren't here, and that's one of the requirements for testimony.
Yeah, and if I could, you and I spoke about this some time ago, and I would like to re-look at the comment by form as it relates to zoning hearings. I just don't think it should be. I appreciate, but the comment, your comments more than enough, so thank you. Are there public comments? Well, actually, hold up on that 1 second. Let's hear the comment by form, and then we'll take individuals in support, or no, we'll hear the staff report first. Thank you.
One public comment was submitted by form for item 6B of tonight's agenda. The comment was submitted by Juan Alayo, 6766 Southwest 154th Street in Palmetto Bay. I support the request to vacate the street. There is precedent in our neighborhood for this, and approving this does not have a negative impact to the neighborhood, rather a positive effect. My property has a folio that was a previously mapped street that was vacated by the original home building in 1973. I support this item.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's do the staff report, and then we'll take individuals. I see we have folks here, so I don't know, maybe someone could help explain. Are you giving a staff report?
Madam Mayor, point of order.
Yes.
If this is a quasi-judicial item, do we need to be asked about disclosures?
Yes, sorry about that.
Go ahead,
Yes.
thank you. I have no disclosures.
I have no disclosures.
None.
I have no disclosures.
Okay, very good. All right. Edgar set the bar tonight.
He set it very high. He set it very high. You're going to be hard shoes to fill. I usually don't participate in this. Do I need to be sworn in to?
Yes.
Yes. Madam Clerk,
Can you have
if
a
you can
moment?
swear
Can
in,
you swear in Mr. Torres? Director Torres, sorry.
Mr. Torres, do you swear or affirm that the evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
And just question, are any of you speaking on this item? So why don't we have them stand to be sworn in as well? Sorry about that. Might as well just do it all now. If you're speaking to this item, if you change your mind in a few minutes, no problem. We can swear you in then. Go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Do you swear or affirm that the evidence you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Director.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council. I guess it wouldn't hurt if you don't mind.
Could you put up the computer I have, please? I've got a map that'll help Director Torres here. You'll have to switch it. Javi, I think you have to switch it to my computer. There should be a switch. My apologies, Madam Mayor. We'll get it here. I think it'll help for you to be able to see the map here and for anyone who's watching.
Speaking
One
with
more moment.
I was
I'm sorry.
speaking with IT in another city, and I said, "What's your IT like?" And they said, "We still use Post-it notes, so we are advanced."
We're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah. Can you get my correct screen up here? Sorry.
Draw the map on the Post-it note and hold it up for everyone to see.
Thank you.
Good evening again. The property in question lies north of Deering Estate. We received a request from Richard Mixon to consider the vacation of the right-of-way of what was dedicated for a future 156th Street between 67th Place and 67th Court. The road, it does not exist. It's never been used for public use. It's basically in its natural state. We went back and did our research with the Miami-Dade County records and found the original plat for the area dates back to 1899. So obviously it's 100 plus years old. So with all that being said, I mean, Public Works has never maintained that. It's never been used for public access or public use. We received the sketch and legal, which is part of the requirement. That was one of the accompanying documents in the item tonight, and we would recommend the vacation of the right-of-way.
Very good. Do we have questions for Director Torres, Vice Mayor?
Questions for the attorney if now is the appropriate time.
Go ahead.
So my understanding is, as was just presented, that it's neighboring Deering Estate, which is a county property. I just wanted to confirm that the county has been notified and doesn't really have any objection to this action, just because my understanding is that if we're going to be doing a split here, the adjoining property owner might also have some involvement. Is that the case?
Not in this case, and in this case, it's because when we went through the process, we were able to locate a deed where this property owner, or this property owner's predecessor in interest, actually had dedicated this parcel over to Miami-Dade County, and then we took it over as their successor in interest. So we'd be vacating it back to the original property owner. If it was part of a plat where it was just dedicated as a right-of-way for the public use, you'd be correct, and it would revert back to the 50-50 to the neighboring property owners. But because of the way this was done, it wouldn't apply that way.
Got it, thank you. And my second question is, I don't see any utility easements. I'm assuming there's none on the property, so the omission the omission here was intentional?
The omission of
The
not-
utility easements, yes.
Yeah, we're not aware of any utility easements that, and we don't believe there are any.
Got it, thank you, that's all.
Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you, Director. Comments? Okay. So at this time, we'll take public comment in opposition. Okay, we'll take public comments in support.
Council members, I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you for making this matter an agenda item today, and thank you for everybody's time and attention to this. Kyle Mixon. I am the son of the property owners in question here, Richard and Michelle, and I had the privilege of growing up in Palmetto Bay. So it's an honor to be back.
Mr. Mixon,
Oh,
could I?
sorry.
Yeah, thank you. A little bit closer, thanks.
I apologize.
No, it's all right.
I don't think a lot has to be explained, but just to give a little bit of background and context, but this property is inside the fenced-in Deering Estate property line. The property boundaries are surrounded on three sides by the Deering Estate, with the public comment from Mr. Alayo as the adjacent property owner. I think important, it was not referenced as substantial evidence, but Mr. Alayo, I believe there's precedence to this and has previously done so with a right-of-way that on that map you were shown kind of forms the other road that connects to it. So as it was indicated, there has never been a public use. It has never been used that way. And I believe there's been precedent by the village in the past for doing a similar vacation for the same reason. Appreciate your time and ask that the council approve the vacation as requested. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public speakers that were sworn in? Don't be shy. Come on up.
My name is David McDonald. My address is 11640 Southwest 64th Avenue in Pinecrest. However, my family and I currently own the property directly across from the Mixons on 67th Court. My parents bought that property in 1959. Our property goes to the Deering Estate fence is the way our particular piece is surveyed off. I've lived there since I was 7 years old. I'm past that now by a good amount. That road has not been used in my memory for public transit. Part of it, as was mentioned a moment ago, had been closed for a long time.
Speak just a little closer to the mic. Thank you.
All the property in that area, at least in that immediate area, there are no utilities. We're all on wells and septic tanks. So to answer your question, I support this. There's no reason not to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Council, Ms. Mayor, My name is Eric Davis, and I'm joined by my wife, Claudette Davis, and we happen to be neighbors of the Mixons as well on 67th Court. We've lived in the neighborhood for about 25 years, and we are in full support of the vacating the right-of-way, in support of this effort. It's in keeping with the property, it's in keeping with the feel of the neighborhood, and we're in total support of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and close the public comment. Are there other comments to be made here? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll on the item?
Councilmember Marsha Matson,
Yes.
Mayor Karen Cunningham.
Yes.
Councilmember Steve Cody,
Yes?
Vice Mayor Mark Meritzer.
Yes.
The item passes 4-0. And with that, that was our final item, correct?
Move to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, good night, Palmetto Bay.